Hi guys, it's Lisa here from growkidsminds.com. It's getting a bit late tonight, but I did want to do a video this week about gratitude. So, you know, it's such a big, important thing. And we're going to look today at I'm just going to mark off, I guess, some basics on how you can teach kids to be positive with where they're at in life. So, I think in this day and age, we do a lot of I want, next thing. Oh, I got that car, now I want another car. Oh, I got that house, I want a bigger house. Oh, I've got this iPhone, I want the next iPhone when it comes out. So teaching our kids gratitude is really important for them to appreciate where they're at in life and with their learning and with their schooling and with their sport and all those sorts of things, so that they can just be happy. Just be happy, because the more we're wanting the next thing, the less happy I think people are starting to become. So we do a lot of gratitude practice, gratitude work, and making sure that we appreciate all the good things that we have, because really, I mean, we're in Australia, and I've traveled a lot over my time, and I get teary listening to I Still Call Australia Home as I'm flying back into Australia, especially after a long stint away for work. I get quite emotional because I just think, after some of the things I see, we are really fortunate here. We live in a good time. We live in a good place. What isn't there to be happy about? It's one of those things. But if you haven't had that experience, or you haven't been taught to have that mindset of gratitude, then you are in life at the moment where it's teaching us to want more, more, and not stop and celebrate what we have. So, okay, so I'm just going to mark off some things to help you with teaching kids how to be positive and how to have gratitude. So the first thing is be happy yourself. So that can always help. The kids feel your emotions. If you're down, the kids feel down. They don't want mum and dad to be sad, or they don't want their teacher to be sad. So they will understand, they will go with your ebb and flow as well. So if you're happy, they're happy. So make sure that you are practicing gratitude as well, and you're happy and you reflect on all the positives you have in your life. They'll do the same. The next thing I like to do is to expect or get praise for effort, not perfection. So rather than, you've finished that test, that's awesome. It could be that you've put a lot of work into that test. Or it might not be that you've finished the artwork. It could be that you've spent a good amount of time making sure that you've done a really good job on your artwork. So I'm always praising the effort that's put in, not that it's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. That's wonderful. Great work. No, yes, great work. But what the great work is that you've put the effort into doing that and you've stuck with it. We have happiness habits. So a happiness habit might be, we have been known to have 80s dance parties in the lounge room randomly. So we put on YouTube or video clips or whatever in the lounge room, and we have dance parties. We do a lot of walking, so the kids and I will go for a walk, and that just lifts our spirit. It gets the endorphins running, and so that's a happiness habit for us. Holding hands is another one. So one of our kids is quite, I don't know if clingy is the right word, but they're very tactile is probably the right word. And there's always that need to touch. So holding hands is one thing that we do a lot of, especially with that child, making sure that they get that, that I'm grateful for you to be here, and I'm holding your hand, and I love you, and all those sorts of things. So that's a good one. Saying nice words. So going around the table, saying something that you appreciate about one of the other family members or class members is another way to do it. Nice words. So there are happiness habits. We also look at teaching empathy, and empathy is kind of a harder thing to teach, I guess. But one thing that I do with kids is, they've always got their story, blah, 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 blah. Okay, stop. All right, now if this happened to you, how would you feel? And I always put them back in that person's shoes. And that's probably the easiest, fastest way to teach a child empathy, because until they can understand what someone else has been through, and, you know, a lot of adults could learn this too, until someone can put themselves in another person's shoes and really understand what it might be like to have that happen to you, then you're not going to have empathy, and you're not going to be grateful for the fact that you're not in that situation. It's one of those things. So I would normally, empathy is really big for me, really big for me. So, but the thing that I do with the kids is always just to say to them, okay, stop. Now imagine X, Y, Z happened to you. How would you feel? And I wait for them. They'll come back with a whole bunch of emotions, you know, and sometimes I can do it in the positive, I can do it in the negative, but it's teaching them empathy both ways. It teaches them empathy for something good that's happened to someone and how we should celebrate and be happy for them. And it's teaching empathy in, you know, when there's challenges and they're going through a hard time and what it might be like for them. How can we deal with that? How can we be a better person if someone's going through that? Other little things we do is we eat dinner together. So our table at the moment, we are always waiting for our table to come in. So it's an outdoor table at the moment. That's our dinner table, but we still sit down and we eat together. We practice some of those things like nice words, talking to each other about what happened, asking each other questions, and, you know, having more playtime. So just spending time together just with them is going to help them to have more gratitude and be more positive. And this gets harder, I think, the older kids get, the more we're working, the more activities the kids have, the more children you have. Like it can really get hard. So you have to actually mentally carve out, or in your diary and plan it, carve out that time. And I do aim to do that with all of the kids. The little one is at home a couple of days a week, so I don't carve out time specifically for her as much, but I do carve out time where I stop work and we go and do certain activities together on certain days. But we do the same. We do the activities each week, same day, routine. And, you know, and then the son that's in primary, on Friday afternoons, normally we go and we spend Friday afternoon together. The step kids, when they come, there's normally a Saturday morning where I'll take one of them, or sometimes it's going to the shops, because as they're getting older they don't really want to do as much. Sometimes they might want to go for a walk with me, but I always aim to find that time where I can spend one-to-one with them, just spend some time with them together. Okay, so that's it for me. So to teach gratitude, to help your kids be more positive and happy with where they're at, the things we're going to do is make sure we're happy ourselves. We're going to praise and expect them to put in effort and not worry about whether it's perfect or not. We're going to have our happiness habits, whether that's dancing, walking, holding hands, saying nice things to each other. We want to teach empathy by asking them to put themselves in another person's shoes. And we're going to eat dinner together where we can, or do some kind of family activity together where we can talk and ask each other questions. And the last thing we do is we have more playtime, and whether that's together, all together, or it might be just one-to-one as they grow as well. All right, so that's it for me. It's Lisa, growkidsminds.com. You can find us on all social media platforms with Grow Kids Minds. If you have any questions, or you want me to answer a question on one of our blog posts, just send it in to hello@growkidsminds.com. And I'll see you guys next week.